going on YouTube? My name is Pedro and welcome back to the channel where we never turn off the console. I've been playing video games since I can remember. I grew up playing the PS1, the Game Boy Color and the PS2. Those were the main consoles that I played until adult age, and I have many great memories from those times, playing Crash Bandicoot, playing Tomb Raider, playing Metal Gear and many more. But video games go way back. Although I'm almost 30, oh god, it hurts to say. The history of the gaming industry is much older than me. Everything started with games like Pong and Tetris to culminate in the multi-million-dollar budgets that we all have the pleasure to experience today. But if there is a lot of stuff to be grateful for in the present, we should also appreciate where it came from. And this is why from time to time I like to travel to the past and discover games that I didn't have the opportunity to play when I was a kid and see if it is something that it is still worth it playing or is something that we should leave buried in the past. Then the other day I was playing some Mario Kart on my SNES Classic and I thought, there are games here that I never gave a fair shot. And there are a lot more on other consoles that I haven't played at all, and I should. I got it. Why not create a series where I describe my experience every time I play a new retro game? What I like, what I didn't like, and let my people know if the game is worth checking out or if they are wasting their time. I think that is a great idea, so today for my first choice I picked up a game that not only I never played it, I never played a Castlevania game before. Yes, I know that I should be ashamed, but yesterday guys, I lost my Castlevania virginity. What? What did I say? I didn't say or those are offensive. Can I continue? So, like I was saying, I played and beat Super Castlevania IV for the SNES. Why did I choose this one, you ask? Simple, convenience. It is a game that comes with the SNES Classic and I take any opportunity that I have to play on that thing. I love the controllers and the emulation is flawless. So you can already spare the comments like, but Pedro, Symphony of the Night is the best one. There is nothing like the classics on NES. Yeah, you know who you are. Actually, it's no one. I don't have anything more than love and appreciation for every single one of you that takes the time to write a comment on my videos. Thank you for the support. And you? Yeah, you! Don't you want to be part of the family? If you want to join, I'm gonna tell you a secret. There is a red button right below this video that says subscribe. If you click it, not only you are part of the family, but it helps a lot. So, where were we? Oh yes. I have played Super Castlevania IV and I have to admit that I have been missing out. This game came in the same year that I was born, so 29 years ago, and it is still a lot of fun. It is a short enough game for you to pick up and go through it in one sit. And that is something that I can appreciate when analyzing a game like this in 2020. It's a great game to break the routine, to play in between big games. For example, I have played so many amazing recent games during the last couple of months, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, The Last of Us Part 2... Wait a minute! Are you telling me that you gave to The Last of Us Part 2 a 6 out of 10 on your review, and now it is an amazing game? Are you out of your mind? Okay, maybe that one is not that amazing. Can I talk now about Super Castlevania IV? Jesus, what do I have to do to get some spotlight? This is a remake of the original Castlevania for the NES, where you play as Simon Belmont, a member of the Belmont family that is the force that opposes Dracula every time he comes back every 100 years. And this time is Simon's job to whip him out. This is all explained in the intense opening scene where we see a tombstone being struck by a lightning and releasing Dracula, with a short text right after explanatory of the plot. Yes, in our days this is almost insignificant, but imagine back then how impressive and epic this cutscene must have felt, with that haunting music and those creepy designs. So it's pretty noticeable the evolution from the first Castlevania to this remake. Not only we see an extraordinary leap in terms of visuals, but the gameplay also suffered a big upgrade. But you have to keep in mind that we are talking about a time where being able to use your weapon in all directions was revolutionary. But for me, experiencing it in 2020, I found the controls good enough, although the character moves like a truck. I have to say that it took me some time to get used to the gameplay, but it was something that grew on me along the way, and let me explain why. This game has a big platform component, and I'm used to my characters in platformers to be super agile like Sonic, Mario or Crash Bandicoot, but that doesn't happen with our big boy Simon. I had to get a new driver's license just to maneuver this pile of muscles. Eventually you will get the hang of it, but until then you will fail and fail and fail again until you are so nervous that you want to break your control in half, but your wife is in the room and you don't want to make a scene, and you start screaming inside your head so loud that you just want to rip your eyes off just because you cannot make that jump! I'm okay. I'm okay. It is done. I don't have to think about it anymore. I was already getting better. No need to stress. Ah! Your main weapon is a whip. Don't ask me why, but it looks like in Transylvania the whip is the most powerful weapon against vampires. And it definitely shows, because although there are secondary weapons, they are pretty much useless when compared to your mighty whip. Well, there are some situations where you can find the secondary weapon useful, especially the boomerang cross, but all of them fell short when compared to the whip. This is such an important whip that even has a name. Oh, the Vampire Killer? Really? They couldn't come up with anything more creative? Ah well, at least they were creative with the graphics. Yes, my friends, yes they are. This game has amazing sprite art, all the levels feel very distinct from each other, and another factor that contributes to that freshness from level to level is the amount of different enemies that you will encounter along the journey. All the environments are mysterious and haunting, and they get creepier and creepier from stage to stage, and I love the level design. It is challenging and most of the times fair. There are some parts here and there that are infuriating, but it is without a doubt a job well done. There was a ton of details that have blown my mind, like the chandeliers, the rotating room when you are hanging with your whip, and what I like to call the laundry room. Yeah, I know that they were trying to innovate, but damn, this is too much craziness for my eyes. Another thing that I really enjoyed was the soundtrack. It starts super well with Simon's theme song, but for the next 3-4 levels it slows down a bit. Not that many memorable songs during that time. Just to ramp up all the way to the top to peek at your encounter with Dracula himself and blow your brains away. The soundtrack of the original game was revamped in this one, and they did an amazing job with the newly added tracks. Everything sounds really impressive. I could listen to Simon's theme song in a loop for days. But there were a couple of things that I found less good. For example, there are certain parts where you have too many things on the screen and it gets a little sluggish. It is noticeable, the game slowing down, nothing deal-breaking, but annoying nonetheless. And the other disappointing part is the boss fights. The majority of them don't require any type of strategy, you just need to whip as fast as you can, especially the bosses in the early stages. Later in game there are some that will give you a hard time, but early on it is just a smash button fest. We interrupt this broadcast for today's spoiler alert. I'm Sandra Rios, and if you haven't played Super Castlevania IV, but you have the intention to, this is the perfect time to check out other videos on the channel. You have been warned. Thank you, Sandra Rios, I will take it from here. So you embark on a journey where you have to surpass all obstacles until you find yourself face to face with Dracula. And you start that journey right in front of the main gate to the Devil's Playground. You make your way through from stage to stage until you enter Dracula's castle, and here is where things start to get serious. Not only the levels start to get more difficult and more interesting, but also the scenarios get more intense, with creepier stages and the best that the soundtrack can offer. From now on, the boss battles start to require some attention from your part, so you can identify their moving patterns and react accordingly. Well, not all of them require that type of work, but at least half are challenging and all of them look super cool. My favorite has to be when you go against death. It is tough as nails to beat. I had to repeat this boss a lot of times, but I found it super fun. And the one that I definitely despise has to be the pair of dancers. They are so difficult to see that wherever I jump, there they were. I couldn't find a pattern at all. I just tried to smack them with my whip while I was jumping around, and ta-da! I got lucky one time, and that's all she wrote. In the last stage of the game, right before you get to Dracula, you have to surpass a gauntlet of boss fights, with all of them being pretty hard. But it is done! You went through all those challenges, defeated all the bosses, and there you are, Dracula right across the room from you, and you know it is time for you to put an end to this. But you die over and over and over again, trying to come up with something that would help you defeat him. This battle really has everything going in its favor to be epic. You are inside Dracula's chambers, his haunting theme song starts to kick in, lightning everywhere, and there he is for a fight to the death. But the excitement doesn't end there. When you get Dracula to 1/3 of his life, the environment turns red and you have reached his final form. Now you have lightning coming from the ceiling and you have to stand still in the right place to not get hit. There is a lot going on in this face-off. So my strategy to defeat him was, for the first part where Dracula throws fireballs at you, I found out that once you strike the big one, if you let your whip hanging, it functions as a shield and protects you from taking damage. This strategy was very helpful because it was really hard to jump over the fireballs once they were split, because of the stiff controls. So I would damage Dracula, whip the fireball and then let the whip hanging to block the smaller ones. Then you need to hit those energy balls that move around randomly, because once you do, they will drop a turkey leg for you to recover some HP, and you don't want to miss those. In the next phase, Dracula not only puts flames on the floor in 2 different spots, but he also summons 2 other flames that come from the ceiling and chase you around the screen. To defeat this part, I simply hit Dracula, stay on a spot where the flames don't hit me, wait until Dracula is gone, move to one of the corners of the screen as fast as I can, and then hit the floating flames before they are too close. Next, another round of energy balls that drop turkey legs, and there we are at the final form. Once I got to this part, I actually got it pretty easily. It only took me like 3 tries. If you are patient and don't overcommit, you are good. What I did was, once Dracula appeared, I would hit him and immediately look at the ceiling to see where the flashes of lightning are going to strike. If you do it like this, you will have enough time to reposition Simon to a safe zone. And we've done it! We gave the last hit to Dracula, you have banished him for another 100 years, and the game ends with a lovely cutscene where we see Simon looking at the castle, going down from distance, and then the credits roll. So normally when I do my reviews I give a grade between 0 and 10, but I don't think that it is fair for these retro games to be analyzed the same way. So what I'm going to do from now on this series is to tell you if I recommend the game because it holds up in our times, or if I don't recommend it because it could have been fun back then, but it is better left in the past. Well, Super Castlevania IV is an easy one. I had a fantastic time going through it. I'm new to the series and it left me with the will to play other Castlevania games in the future. If you can get past the stiff controls, you will have a blast playing this. It is super fun, it looks and sounds amazing, and it is a great challenge to put your skills to the test. So of course I recommend you play Super Castlevania IV. It's an excellent game and it's going to be worth your time. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed the content. This is a new type of video, so let me know in the comments what you think. Do you like it? Do you want to continue seeing this type of content? Everything that you want to say, everything that you want me to think about, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye!